Hey there, sweeties. Welcome back to a new video on my channel. In today's video, we'll be covering two topics. First, the GM scandal, as I'll call it, that we had during the week. Blizzard commented on it during the night leading into Thursday. I have to admit, I didn't get a chance to cover the whole thing in a separate video any earlier. I was down for the count at times, and there were a few other problems as well. That's why I'm sorry I tried to resolve it as soon as I could, but unfortunately I wasn't able to do more at that point. And we're looking at another change for patch 12.1 that should especially please housing fans. Because now you can place an armada of pets in your house, much more than previously thought. We'll take a look at all of that in this video. I would really appreciate it if you leave a like and subscribe. We've hit 7,000 on my second channel. That means, first of all, thank you very much for that. Now here, we're close to 38,000 and we can almost draw our big giveaway winner. I'm looking forward to it, so make sure to subscribe. That would be awesome. And with that, let's get started. Yeah, in the end, if you haven't followed the whole story, the whole thing was posted on Reddit by this user here, Acrobatic Pianist. He ended up posting logs where it was about a GM supposedly helping a group in Keys. And if you take a closer look at all the stuff, you can see here, for example, that two mobs, one being the final boss in Nexus Point Zenith, and a trash mob were killed with an area death. So basically, one mob went from 90 to 0 and the boss from 2 to 0. That's when the log led to accusations that it was a GM, because it was an instant death using abilities that aren't assigned to any player classes. And in fact, a player who was supposedly in that group revealed in a stream, yeah, the GM was hanging out with us on Discord. One of us was friends with him, and he said, or we told him, hey, we're missing 1%. Can you ask your GM friend to take care of it? And apparently the GM took care of it. Was that smart or not? Probably not, because Blizzard reacted to it and fired that GM. Shortly after it became public, they announced, "We are investigating the whole thing, and cheating has no place in our game." And indeed, yes, the accusations turned out to be true, so a post on Reddit that wasn't far-fetched. Blizzard says their tools have confirmed that what was alleged by the community did, in fact, happen. A single Blizzard employee violated Blizzard's code of conduct, and he was immediately dismissed. Of course, I don't know whether as a GM you're a full-time employee like everyone else, or are you actually a developer and just have a GM account? I don't know that, but yes, we can see here it didn't do him any good to flex his GM powers in front of his friends, because he got fired for that. Likewise, all the players who were in this group are also facing actions or sanctions against their accounts. So, it was said that 4 of these people were friends and only the tank was random. I'm curious to see if he'll get punished too, because according to statements, he wasn't on Discord with them. We will see. But it's quite possible that these players will also get bans, because in the end, they encourage the GM to cheat. And I think Blizzard doesn't show much mercy there. They also say that there is a small number of Blizzard employees who can use developer tools and spells on live servers. This allows them to test important fixes in the live game when necessary. And also, it's dumb. Every single internal spell, action, and command used on live servers is logged by Blizzard and analyzed by a security team. This is to ensure that the use of these abilities is justified. So even if these logs hadn't become public, it could very well have been possible that the guy would get fired, but there probably wouldn't have been such an outcry. And they also say again that the use of these developer tools and spells, if they are not used for development work, is strictly against the company's guidelines. I would also argue that this is something an employee should know, because it's very likely also included in the contract. Yes, in the end, Blizzard once again thanked members of the WoW community who shared this information. And in the end, yes. They are grateful for it and had already said from the beginning that cheating has no place in WoW. That's why, yes, in the end, it was a stupid move by this GM. There's no other way to put it. I've read in some places that some people think, isn't it a bit harsh to fire him right away? But honestly, it's most likely also specified in some form in the contract. And it's the same, I don't know, as a savings bank employee, you're also not allowed to just snoop around in your friend's account data or anything like that just because you have access. That can also be a reason for dismissal. And accordingly, I would say it's your own fault at this point. With that, let's move on to some slightly better news. The pet limit has been increased, and significantly, with housing in patch 12.1. So really, originally 10 pets were planned. Meanwhile, the bar on the PTR now shows that you can place up to 100 pets inside. Outside the house, 25 of them. So that's quite a lot. To place all the pets, you have to set up beds, and then you can choose whether they should stay on their bed or just walk around it, or they should roam freely through the house. It's important that you can only use pets that are non-combat pets, so that's also mentioned here again. Non-combat pets will be added to player housing through new pet bed decor items. That means your selection is already somewhat limited. So anything that can fight probably can't be used at this point. And you'll have to rely on these pets that were introduced here, for example. The ones from Midnight that don't have levels like this one. This creature can't fight. I have to be honest, I don't even think I can get to 100 with that. Not even close. And I wouldn't know either. For example, I would really like to have a lot of cats in my house then. I also wouldn't even know where to get all those cats from in the first place. But here we have a cute dog. You can take him out. You can use Poco Poco Poc. So there are a few cute things included. But of course, it does limit your selection quite a bit. And as you can see, you can even just let Khadgar float around your place. If you want to see which pets are available, just turn off battle pets in the filters, then everything that's possible will be listed. That means you can take a look here. Yeah. Where you can get certain pets. For example, Blorp can be found on Dark Moon Island. And so on and so forth. Kabub can also be found in Zulaman. I need Kabub. I want Kabub. But yes, those are the news for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you a great weekend. So, see you in the next video. Have a good time and take care.